We got Corrections Secretary Jimmy LeBlanc standing by. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How you got?
Good. You were in the meeting at the round table with the president, Governor John Bel Edwards, and others to talk about.
Well, let me clear that up. We did. They only allowed one person to travel to come to the meeting to begin with the governors.
Okay.
And when we got there, they actually only allowed the governor and the rest of the governors, the attorney generals that were there, Jerry Kishner and a couple other people, staff people for the president. So, but after I was able to, they had a dinner after, and everybody went to the dinner, but the president didn't come to the dinner, but everybody else did, and the meeting kind of continued on from, the conversation continued at dinner, which was very interesting. But I did on the way home have an opportunity to talk to the governor, obviously, and it was a great meeting. I mean, from my perspective, Aaron, and I'm maybe talking too long here, but to sit down at a table with all Republicans except for the governor, to hear them talking about sentencing reform in their states and the things that Jared Kushner and Ivanka are pushing with the president on that, I think the bill that's in, I think it's the select bill that's in Congress right now, and having good support on the House side and really good support on the Senate side. So, and a lot of things in that bill, we're right on track with doing what's in that bill. So I was excited to hear that. Talking about banning the box, and you're talking about 4 governors that are real conservative governors having that conversation with the president's staff. So a very good meeting. I was excited about what happened and the results of it.
Jimmy, are they talking about reforming at a federal level the federal crimes, the federal incarceration, or are they trying to make something kind of uniform for the states following maybe what we're doing here?
Well, they talking about it at the federal level, but their goal is that states would follow what they're doing. And my point on saying that is that when we looked at that bill, actually I made some talking points for the governor, and I put under each section of that bill what we are already doing that is in relation to what they're trying to do. It's probably more related to prison reform. But last night or yesterday evening, there was a lot of talk about sentencing reform and what can we do there. Jobs is a big thing, and the president is very adamant about second chances, that he believes that, the people in our jail system need an opportunity when they get out, and that's his bottom line. He thinks they need a second chance, and we need to establish a system that provides that.
How much did the president ask the governor or talk to the governor about what is happening in Louisiana, and what did he seem most interested in?
That's a good question. Basically, I think he's the question is our prison population is down, and he was inquiring about that. And, everybody focuses in on that November 1st release. But, look, there are a lot less people coming back to prison now. I mean, it's in a neighborhood of somewhere between 6 and 1,000 a year less coming back into our system, which means success. And so he was able to talk about that. He's able to talk about some of the things we're doing, not only in our prison system, but in probation and pro with compliance credits, using that as a tool. Very interesting. I mean, I can tell that he likes our governor. He supports our governor. He thinks that we're doing a good job down here, and definitely wants to. Hopefully, it might get to come to Louisiana to visit Angola. That was handed to him. We'll see. I'm not sure they'll let a president come to a maximum security prison, but maybe Jared Kushner will come and we'll get a visit, and they can see the good things that we're doing at Angola for our reentry effort.
Senator Kennedy sent him a letter prior to the meeting saying that, this was not a success in Louisiana, that he shouldn't buy what the governor was selling. Your reaction to that letter and the governor's reaction?
Well, yeah, he said a lot of different things, actually, and the letter he sent, I mean, it's really a little embarrassing, I think, for our state for him to send something like that. But look, one of the things that really came to mind last night in listening to the Republican groups talk is that I'm not sure that he's really in touch with his party, with the president. I mean, that's the results I get there, but to say that it's failed is ludicrous. It hasn't really started. I mean, give it an opportunity. and he's calling, all mad at me basically that I'm incompetent. And look, he's no, I don't know the man. I've never sat down with him. I would love to have the opportunity for him to quiz me on what my feelings are about our criminal justice system and what my intentions are, our intentions are. But I've never had that opportunity. And for him to say that about our department is really wrong. I mean, I got a lot of hard-working people in this department that are doing some really good things, and for him to say things like that is just, without at least giving us an opportunity, I think it's ludicrous.
We're talking to Jimmy LeBlanc, Corrections Secretary. Our DA yesterday talked to members of the media about this criminal justice reform, saying that it is a long-term plan, don't expect changes overnight, but that we do need more resources for those who are being released. We do need to get them more help. Is that on the way, and how soon?
It is on the way. And, well, I have, in fact, at 9 o'clock, I'm going to be in the Joint Legislative Committee of Budget making our presentation for the carry forward for the, actually it's $8.2 million that we'll be able to reinvest. And Caddo Parish is one of those 5 parishes that we're going to reinvest in. And we have an RFP that's out there. I read on my trip up there and back, I was able to read the questions from the people that are interested in bidding on the RFP for our community side of our reinvestment. A lot of interested parties out there from all 5 parishes, and we're excited about the opportunity to see what they're going to propose in our communities to help with treatment, with
Any idea
health.
what they're going to do here already? Or no plan yet?
I don't. One of the things, guys, on the DOC side on the investment is investing in our local jails to increase the programming. All the people that the DAs have talked about getting rearrested, the high-profile stuff, and when you look at those guys, they were only in parish jails, never went through a reception process, never got diagnosed. There's a lot of things that happen, and that's what's wrong with our system. We have got to change, and I don't mean not house them at the local level, but improve the programming opportunity at the local level. So like, for example, East Baton Rouge, Caddo, I'm coming up into this month to meet with all of the players in Caddo. That's my last stop. I've been to the other 4 parishes. But to give you an example, East Baton Rouge, they had 1,700 people return to them in 2017 from 98 different local jails. Now, that's chaos. Mm-hmm. We have got to concentrate housing in fewer facilities, and increase the per diem in those facilities where they can provide the programming before they return to your community. And that's what the goal is, and that's what our goal is on the DOC side.
Jimmy, let me ask you, the big question I get about this from folks who are very conservative is, what are we doing and how are we tracking these folks? Are you doing, detailed tracking of the people that get out early, and how is that information being disseminated?
We submitted an annual report, our first annual report, and it has all the details in there of all the tracking. Everything that we're going to be tracking is very detailed. Those coming back to prison, those in prison, those leaving prisons, those revocating. I mean, we have some detail, and Pew helped us with this. So we're going to be actually, this is the performance-based stuff. If the people that we contract with aren't performing, then they won't continue to contract. And we'll have performance measures once we know what they are. But we have a tracking, and actually it's required by law. In the bill that allotted the money to us, it also says this is what you have to track. And recidivism obviously is a big part of that. I mean, if they get out and they're coming back, why are they coming back? And they shouldn't have come back, and what can we do to improve that? So there are a lot of other different things, though, that we're going to be tracking. That report, I'm not sure if it's online with us yet or not. It is. It's on our website for people that might be interested.
Wonderful. Well, we will definitely share that. And, Jimmy, I hope you'll join us when you come up to Caddo later in the month. We'd love to have you in studio with us.
We have some great questions about after you learn here what goes on here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be great. Let's do that. Ken's sitting here with me. We'll make that arrangement with you guys. I'll come in and visit.
Wonderful. Jimmy LeBlanc, Corrections Secretary. Thanks so much for your time, sir.
All right, Aaron. Thank you guys for having me.